What is up? Welcome to Bleach Boys. This is our last movie special for now. We're moving on to the actual canon stuff. After this, we reviewed Bleach Movie 3, Fade to Black, which, I mean, right at the start is just the best movie by far.
Not even
out of all of the ones we've watched, by far.
We got no Momo.
Yep.
And no Izuru.
Yep.
Okay, I
bonuses
kind of
to both.
with that.
Yep.
Great point.
But we had Omaida, so it did kind of take a few points
Shuhei is
down.
in it for a little bit and uses his light pillars again for
Yeah.
Everyone likes them.
And he goes Shikai in this
does.
movie.
Right
so
off the bat.
I think that very clearly states that this takes place probably right after that fight, I would say.
That's what I was trying to figure out was because we started seeing all the Zanpakutos.
There's no way they would
stuff.
show the Shuhei Shikai if it's clearly takes place right after that.
But I think it was even further. I think it's right after the captains get into the big three fight for the Arankar, because Kiraku and Ukitake both use their Shikai, and they have.
We've seen this before. None of them use their powers though.
But they've never had their full commands. They said their full commands. That's what makes me think.
Well,
that
I am just saying that doesn't mean anything. You might be right. But that doesn't mean anything because My Hero Academia goes off the manga when they do their movies.
Oh, bastards.
So I'm just saying. So there was in the second My Hero Academia movie, Endeavor had a manga-only costume that you had no idea when he showed up. And Hawks was in it before Hawks was even really a player.
Oh, okay.
So that's true. Yeah, but we've seen their Shikais before as well when they fight Captain Commander. So
okay.
But yeah, it's clearly in the middle of the Espada, showing up to Karakura Town is where this takes place. 100%. It was so much clearer this time around, especially because Ichigo's popping off visor mask, which he does at the beginning
right away, and then doesn't do it ever again.
Yeah.
Well, no, he uses it another time.
Yeah, he does it a couple times, and then that's it. Which I guess you can kind of relate to. Maybe he is under that restraint that he supposedly has, where he can only do it for 30 seconds or something.
I chalked it up to because he didn't use it in the final fight.
21 looks cool.
I don't think he wanted to kill Rukia.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Unlike Byakuya. So
Homie just knows what he
knows what has to be done.
Yeah.
What is it
goated,
that Thanos
right?
says?
He is the logical person in the group, whereas Ichigo is very much the dreamer, whereas no, we can find a way to save Rukia. It's not going to be a problem.
Fucking foot off. It's got gangrene.
Yeah. And Byakuya's we got to do it. Get rid of her. It's sorry. It's
I he even took it. It was like the Koga fight where it's this is my fucking duty. Yeah. It's the dude doesn't even know who this bitch is. He's just I'm going to have to kill her. Fuck.
And it was a little weird that in the final fight, Byakuya and Ichigo, they're both there. And he kind of lets Ichigo do his thing when he still doesn't clearly know who Ichigo is, and he has no reason to give him that permission.
I think
he sees the passion and stuff he has towards Rukia.
I think that there's something.
Didn't stop him the first time when they were fighting on the hill. So
yeah, good point.
Well, that was the pride.
Good point. I don't know. I think
and this is one of the only movies, actually, of the three, the only movie that did not take place on the same hill. So they made a new hill.
They did it. Yeah. I got mad. I'm wait, the hill's not fucking there. Yeah. It doesn't have all the shit on top of it. But no, you're right. They made a new hill.
Yeah, they didn't want to repeat the same thing. They didn't want to try the same ground for the third movie. So they made one just a little bit in front of that hill. And it's identical shape, everything. There's new hill.
Speaking of logical Byakuya, though, Sam brought it up pretty early on. This was the most logical fucking captains.
Oh, 100%.
They're just this
they
doesn't
actually
seem
discussed
right.
everything.
But it's and I'm pretty sure, because I recognize the name, the director on this one was Noriyuki Abe, which I'm pretty sure is the same guy who did the second movie, because I recognize his name as well. And I don't know what the disconnect was between the second and the third one, but by far, Head Captain Yamamoto to every captain is the most logical person they have ever been.
Yeah.
And to the point where Komamura is for some, I did confront him. They were asking if he fought Ichigo. I was yeah, I did. And for some reason, he knew a lot about us. It's not right. There's something weird going on here.
You know what? I think for that one, I think he was deflecting the fact that he got absolutely dunked on. And he's yes, let's draw attention to this thing over here.
But
he must have known us at some point
I
in
think
my life.
Even Hitsugaya was and it's from reading the spiritual pressure, he's got captain level, which once again is something that is also really weird.
Yeah.
And he's very familiar with the Soul Society and moving around.
It seemed kind of weird to me. This is just kind of a sub note on all that. But it felt like Yamamoto's voice actor was dead the entire first half of the movie.
He was just tired.
Because he never said a thing. Everyone was just oh my God, this is all happening.
He probably had about 3 or 4 lines. So, and most of them were when Urahara shows up. So,
Which okay,
Explain yourself.
Can we talk about why Urahara just decided? Besides the fact that he infiltrated,
So I
changed.
wanted to ask you
think
guys this.
I think he put that on because it's a way for them to remember who he was.
I think that as well. I think that's because they
Oh.
assume that like their memories, he will for sure
A
still
certain-
have that.
yeah.
Do you think that's why he did it?
But I have a question.
Okay.
Canonically, all right,
Yes.
I'm hoping your guys' memories are better than mine. Is he actually able to enter the Soul Society like that? Does he legitimately have a way? Because
thought he was
if you
banished,
guys remember, he was
yeah.
banished, and when he tried to go in with Ichigo and gang when they
It, like,
first went
zapped
in,
him.
yeah,
It
it like
zapped him.
zapped him. So does he actually have a way, or is this just the classic movie? Like,
You know,
I always
he-
kind of had that. So
he
what's
might
up?
not have had a way to enter the first time around.
Yeah,
And he
feel it.
does tinker with stuff, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. But I mean, they did it for movie purposes.
Okay.
I agree with Jose on that one. I think it's like, I can't do that. I should probably work on this
Okay,
now.
sure. It's not the biggest like egregious offense, and
Yeah.
it's like it's such a Urahara thing where he was even like, yeah, of course I have something like that. Like, why
Yeah.
wouldn't I?
He
It's
even
like-
knew about the whole Mayuri backup thing. He's just like,
Yeah.
let me press a few buttons.
Yeah.
I'm already in.
Yeah, which by the way, they very quickly sidestepped two things. By the way, one, this whole monster spawning like jizz monster shooting all over the place.
Yeah, it was
Candle
anti-
wax.
Was 100% Mayuri's fault
Yup.
from the
Yes.
machine that he has. 100%. That's the whole emphasis of this movie is that obviously there's this Hollis going around reaping memories, but they would not be able to do any of the damage they did had it not been for Mayuri's machine
Yeah.
that he for some reason had made in his tower.
And did you get stressed
Doomsday
out?
devices,
Because
dude.
at the very beginning, he creates an item, and I'm like, it's going to be the fucking Owen thing all over again.
You-
And
So I gotta say they have written off Mayuri almost every movie.
they wrote
I
off
think it's just 'cause
Kenpachi for
they
the
don't
same
know what to
reason.
do with him, really.
Yeah, so Mayuri, I feel like Kenpachi,
too unpredictable.
it's almost like reverse. Kenpachi gets written off very early on because he's just brute strength. He's
Yep.
just like he's strong boy. Where Mayuri also gets written off because he's smart boy.
Yeah.
And his whole thing, like I've said before, is he's kind of like the Batman, where he
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
studies,
Agreed.
figures out the weakness, and then he solves it.
But
And
he's
it's like you
like-
can't have him there to do that because then the whole movie is ruined.
I would agree with that. I think he's like Robin more than anything because Urahara's Batman. He's just like, yeah, I've already figured it all out. I've had it figured out for fucking 20 years. I'm just going to show up now because you guys seem like
Nah,
you're struggling.
nah, no way,
You
no
think
way.
so?
It seems
Because-
more like Mayuri has a doomsday plan always, constantly.
Because,
he's
like,
in
I
case
agree
this
with that.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you can't be Batman if you're not allowed in Gotham. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
So,
okay.
it's like you just can't. It's like he's not there. It's like you can't. A lot of times he's from the outside. He's like the outside help guy. It's
Yeah.
like if Batman was the guy who never did anything, Batman's like Oracle. Okay,
Okay, I'll allow this.
Whoa, that's my woman.
I'm
talking about
sorry,
that,
but
man.
it is
Or you
because
mean
like
Urahara's like Oracle?
yeah,
Okay.
Urahara's like
Okay.
Oracle.
Okay.
That's just it is what it is.
Like
that-
when we need it for the plot, you're here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
She
You're
gets her
like-
legs back at
you're
some
hanging
point.
out in your
Okay.
own lab. You you shoot some shit in. Like they did that with him during the fucking Lady Mauricio arc,
Yep.
where he was just like, "Oh, it's probably this. You guys should check that out."
We
And it's
figured
like,
out
The
that-
Valley of Screams. Remember that?
We figured out Kenpachi with no Yachiru.
Oh,
yeah,
not
that's-
powerful enough.
If Kenpachi doesn't have Yachiru, he's instantly gonna lose. That's how
Yep.
you know it's a
Also,
sign.
if Ikaku hits any very large object that is like super solid, it's gonna be Kenpachi, and he's
Yep.
coming. Apparently, I had one of the bigger gripes I had was his eye patch came off.
well,
I
he got
don't
eaten.
know how. Oh, it did. Oh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing. Hit
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I could not figure out for
This
the
guy's
life of
gripes
me.
is solved in 5 seconds.
I
Thank
did.
you.
I did hear him go. What the fuck?
You guys are just shooting up the scores for this fucking movie.
So second egregious thing that they don't
Okay.
mention in the movie.
Let me see if I can bat this one down for
Sure,
you.
sure. They should just not allow Rukia to make any more friends. All of the problems of this whole series are Rukia's fault.
Are they gonna keep her in a?
Whoa, I
fucking
thought it was Mayuri's
Like,
wall?
fault.
like what the fuck?
I mean, she.
Well,
did
Mayuri is half of the problem of this
Okay.
movie. The other half is Rukia made friends. That is the other half. Rukia made friends with Ichigo. All of Soul Society
Oh,
gets
fuck,
fucked
you're right.
over.
Yeah.
Rukia makes friends with these two people. They're fucking coming back to fuck up Soul Society
She
again.
has
So,
friends in the high
is
places.
Aizen a result of her being friends with
Dude,
Ichigo?
I don't know. I am sure we're
Maybe
Oh,
she
wasn't
made
she
friends with.
friends with Aizen?
Maybe she made friends with Momo, and
Oh.
Well, wasn't like a big part of it the fact that Aizen wanted the Hogyoku that was kept inside of Rukia? Wasn't that the whole fucking thing?
yeah, because
Like, someone
Urahara
just seal
hid it
her
in
up
there.
somewhere, please. Like,
Well,
why
that's
are we letting Rukia wander about anymore?
Well,
I think they were
Yamamoto
gonna try to
wanted
kill
to,
her.
you know,
Yeah.
kill her.
Yeah. Speaking of things Yamamoto normally does, I was surprised the Keto Cannon didn't come out because
He
they
wanted to see
This was
it.
level-headed.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
was
yeah.
level-headed Yamamoto. They finally toned him down, and he wasn't.
just finished smoking.
Which is nice because I wish he would take more of a like
A captain
Dumbledore
role?
like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Dumbledore
yeah,
type
yeah.
of role. Instead, they constantly make him
headmaster
the
kind of thing?
like angry, like who would normally be a bad guy? Like you would normally have like an example Dumbledore, and then you would have
Voldemort.
strict rule follower who wants to constantly like
Snape?
everything needs to be followed to the T,
Yeah.
execute them if they don't follow the rules. But
Fire the Keto
like
cannon.
he's supposed to be the good guy leader,
Yeah.
but they keep making him the bad guy leader.
What Byakuya does is what
Yes.
Yamamoto
Yes.
should
Yes,
do. Is
yeah.
like, I didn't see it.
Like
technically.
Byakuya perfectly fills that Snape
Yeah.
role,
Yeah.
okay? But then we don't have a Dumbledore. Instead, we have a second Snape.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, none of this makes any sense. Like,
But Byakuya was smart. He went back and he looked at all of what was it like
Yeah.
the family
Yeah.
records.
Dude,
Yeah.
he almost knew it's like this is associated with me. Let me just go do all this work.
Let me guess. Rukia's at it again.
yeah,
Hold on.
Byakuya just gets so much love, dude. And it's like, you can tell that is like people like Byakuya because he is so badass.
Yeah, even when Ichigo shows up, he's like, hello?
He's like the only one who is like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, seriously. So there's a part where Ichigo shows up and he was just
at Byakuya's home.
yeah, in his home and Byakuya's just like, "What's up, dude? You want to talk? Let's
Lets
talk."
him walk into his private quarters where his picture of his wife is.
Yeah.
Late
Oh,
wife, I'm sorry.
Also, hold up, Army. Let's hear this boy out. I just
Yeah.
want to talk to him real quick.
In
once
comes
again,
Renji.
Oh,
fucks
he's starting to
up,
act
though.
up. I'm gonna just show you my blade. It's my fucking belt. I'm gonna fucking whip you.
That was not
Almost-
going to end well for Byakuya,
Yeah,
I'll tell you right
yeah.
now.
You
That
think
was,
so?
That
Oh,
was
'cause
not
he's got
going
Hollow
to. Yeah,
Mask,
that was
right?
not
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
end
yeah.
well. Especially if Byakuya does not have the memory of the previous fight.
Good
That
point.
was
Yeah,
not
yeah.
going to
He
end
would've
well at all.
gotten wrecked.
It's like Ichigo obviously wouldn't have wanted to like hurt him, but if they were to go full force at each other, Byakuya not having the memory and
Yeah.
Ichigo having all of the memories, Byakuya would have got smacked.
Do you
Yeah.
think Byakuya was holding back at all in those fights? The original fight?
No, he has
You
no
don't-
reason to hold back.
No, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just curious if there was anything.
I
You mean
do
back
think
on the
that-
hill?
on the hill.
Like
yeah.
the OG Ichigo versus.
No, he wasn't holding back. He went into his other form.
I'll pull up classic Bleach. He was surprised during that fight.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be surprised.
I
during
do
this.
think that they hadn't as much worked out kind of like all of the special Hados and stuff he uses
Yeah.
later, because even showing up in this fight, he's immediately going to like the Bakudos and the
Yeah.
Hados and stuff.
Yeah, he was
which
holding the
that's
fort
like
down.
his thing now. But I think back then they didn't like for sure have. He's like a fucking master at all this.
Yeah, because it's badass when he uses the swords of revealing light.
He does a
Oh.
cool
Yeah.
fucking Sinbon Zakura tunnel as
Yeah,
well.
and he's like, I'm
Did
going
he teleport?
So
He
I
just
think
jumped
he
through
made the
it.
tunnel and then he flash stepped like through it, and he was like, "Later, guys." And even like Uruhara was like, "All right, thanks, man."
Yeah.
it
It was
cool.
super weird. I,
Yeah.
I didn't fully understand it. One thing they glossed over that I could explain,
Mm-hmm.
like I can make my own like
Sure.
thing for. At one point, we find out because Rukia doesn't exist, Zabimaru doesn't have a Bankai for Renji,
Mm-hmm.
and he basically his fucking Zanpakuto comes and starts shit talking like, "How could you not use me at my full potential?" kind of
Yes.
thing.
Not my Zabimaru though.
Yeah, exactly. I did not feel attracted to this
Yes,
one.
yeah.
But they make it seem like, oh, his Bankai, his Zanpakuto can fucking remember all this shit. Like, so all their swords, which they communicate with regularly, don't be like, hey, that's the guy we fucking got our asses handed by, with Ichigo. But they say like, oh, our souls remember, and then if you go to that point,
But, like,
the
so-
Zanpakutos are your soul.
Yeah, but so I would say the Zanpakuto did not ever once tell him, "Hey, you know Ichigo."
It was
Yeah.
I had.
It was just
that-
more of
that's all
like,
very
"Hey,
true.
why aren't you using your Bankai, you fucking moron?" Like,
What are you talking about?
You got
Yeah.
you got your ass beat again.
like
Hello.
that's really because they never were once like, "Yo, you know that guy? Like, we fucking fought that guy." They were like, "We have Bankai. Why are you not using it? Like, are you stupid?"
Wait, don't they feel each other's like kind of souls?
The
from
whole thing is all like
I know.
what Josh is
We're
saying should be
nitpicking, yeah.
correct, which is the same reason we complained in the Zanpakuto Rebellion arc too.
Yeah.
Is that how their fucking memory's missing and
Exactly.
they're supposed to be communing all of the time. The whole thing is all fucked. Where they're supposed to have the same memories, but I think at this point before the Zanpakuto Rebellion arc even happened, the only person we've ever seen really commune is obviously Ichigo and Renji, which is why we see his fucking thing.
Hey,
They also-
do you
oh.
guys think you'd be friends with your Zanpakuto?
I mean, why not?
I mean,
Why
if
would I
I'm-
think I wouldn't be friends with my
I'm
Zanpakuto?
just saying.
I mean, if it's like if you personally hate yourself kind of thing, then you're gonna hate your own Zanpakuto. Then we might not be friends. So I really feel the shoe I train.
yeah,
Like
okay.
it just makes sense. I like that they had Hanataro for like a minute.
Yeah.
and he had
that
the
was
same
funny.
thing. Like, I've
This
healed
movie
you
was
before.
so well done. Like,
Yeah.
I was talking about the last movie review, Diamond Dust Rebellion, fuck that. After seeing this one, fuck that. How they don't do movies well. And I think this was a perfect example of a movie done really well, where
Has
there were
no
a lot of callbacks, like
Yeah, a lot of
nicely
references.
done
Yeah.
callbacks,
Yes.
Easter eggs.
to like OG stuff that happened. Like all of your favorite scenes is like a fan. They're like, hey, remember that? Hey, remember that?
Or where he pulls,
Where
up
he pulls
fucking
the Zangetsu,
Shikai, he's like,
yeah.
oof.
Yeah, they show you all the cool scenes, and like even like that little Hanatoro scene, it's like cool, and they meet in
Yeah.
the sewer again. It's like, and even Hanatoro's like, yeah, I feel like I've healed you before.
Yeah, I liked it.
It was so well done, and this is like a great example where this would be a great movie to rewatch. If like
Yeah.
you hadn't seen Bleach in a while, I would say watch this one because they call back to a lot of the OG stuff and they show you
Yeah.
the flashbacks, and it's like, oh, I get it. Thank you.
Honestly, even if they didn't want to make it a filler, they could have made that whole thing canon.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it
Yeah,
would
it
have
would've
been
been
so
great.
well done. Like the story,
It would have been like a My Hero movie.
yeah, and it didn't have like that weird like ending. Like it could have
and-
been a little bit smoother. I feel like it was a little weird.
Yeah, they didn't write it off at the end. They,
Yeah.
they didn't
It's
just
like-
straight go and cut.
It's
We're
like My
done.
Notes, boys.
Thank you.
What? But what? Because they also didn't reveal the main bad guy's like purpose until like the last 5 minutes of the movie.
It was also very interesting that they never kind of like they didn't defeat the bad guy. They just like separated them from Rukia, and then they were
And
like,
then it died.
cool.
It's
It's like,
a
well,
symbiote.
we got our names, so thank you.
Yeah, it was Venom.
Yeah,
It was-
yeah,
It was
yeah.
Venom.
But it should have attached to Ichigo, right?
Yeah, they didn't defeat the Hollow. Like they just show it leaving the body
Ichigo
at one
stabbed
point,
right
and then
through
like
it and just killed it.
it's like, oh, did he evaporate it? Are we just calling it that? It's like,
Also, they didn't fade away. They're
No.
just dead
yeah, they
bodies.
didn't fade
Yeah.
to black. Yeah,
That kind of hurt.
and I thought they would maybe rebury them on the hill or something, but
I thought that would have been
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
But then it's like, nope, I got
no,
a letter that
there
I'm gonna
ain't-
let
there
go.
ain't No two no
Well, they
two
didn't
extra
have
things there.
because she lost her memory after that fight where they get glacked.
Yeah.
They never get buried.
Yeah, I'm saying that why
Oh.
didn't they rebury them at the end?
was that
They
their little?
probably should have.
Yeah, those
no,
were their
no, that's not their statues. That was their three friends when they were growing up in the.
I
Rukon
feel like I'm
district.
Well, one
speaking
of
a
the-
different language
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Why didn't they bury the two new friends with their
Oh.
three old friends?
They would have been 5.
I feel like there was trickery afoot. I'm looking at Jose. I swear to
What do you
God.
mean?
I
He
thought-
got me.
Okay. All
What
right.
are we talking about?
I thought that you guys were saying those three graves were those two kids.
No, I'm saying why didn't they add them to their
Whose would have
friend
been the
hill?
third one.
I don't know. I was just double checking.
I think they had 3 other friends.
There was
Yeah,
three other
yeah.
friends. Yeah, that was like canon stuff.
Yeah, that's canon.
That's
That's
OG,
canon.
okay.
That,
Yeah.
They've been to
I-
that hill multiple times. They
I
showed
do
in the
agree.
flashback of Renji and Rukia standing on that hill together
Yeah.
before they enter the Soul Society because
Yeah,
all their
I-
friends dead.
I do agree that they should bury them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would've
they
been
have
nice.
full bodies.
Like
now.
if they really were friends, why aren't they added to the friend hill? You
well,
know?
the other friends didn't like the other people, so like their ghosts
Yeah.
when. Oh wait,
They're on a different hill.
they're dead. Dead.
Yeah. They are dead. That's the whole like ending of the movie. Is they're like, maybe death's not the end. We'll see each other again.
That's
It's
all I
like
wanna
They're
tell
in
Ichigo.
death.
yeah. Once again, this is another movie where it begs the question: what happens after you die as a Soul Reaper? And they don't ever answer it.
You just go to hell.
Like they do
Oh,
not
God.
answer what happens.
I would like to. I did like the sentiment. 16-year-old Ichigo just coming through with this random bit of knowledge. I did like where he's like, maybe we met in the previous life,
Yeah.
like when she was
It
alive.
was the nice sappy ending.
Yeah,
did
it
like
was
nice.
sweet though.
It was good.
They're all connected by ribbons.
I would have loved
Senna.
if like they just decided out of. Oh yeah, they pulled some random shit. They pulled the fucking spirit ribbon out.
That was a thing. So
That was really early on when Ichigo needed to look for somebody.
yeah, and Uryu was really good at that.
Yeah.
Like that was like one of
Yeah.
his things was like, oh well, I'm a Quincy and I'm really good at sensing
no
that.
one likes you. What do you?
But I said it when we watched it. Like they find the spirit ribbon, they make it like a whole scene, and then immediately after, Bro goes psycho and like fucking shit starts shooting out from the exact location they needed to go.
Well, did you hear the in canon explanation of why they don't use it in the Soul Society?
because
There's too much Reiatsu all over. It's just too
Mm.
hard to do in the Souls. But because you guys share the same power, maybe you
Maybe
can
it's
follow
easier.
the ribbon.
At no point did it not make sense, though. That's what made me mad. They wrote a good bullshit.
Yep.
I'm cool with it.
I just like why I'm trying to think like maybe this took place right after the Shuhei fight in the actual canon is because they were weird about Ikaku. We talked about when we were watching
yeah.
the movie.
That makes sense.
They
but
were
they
really
used
weird about
Bankai and
Ikaku.
Diamond Dust.
Because if you guys remember the Battle of Four Pillars that happened in the Fake Car Town, Ikaku
would not use
purposely
it.
loses because
One of
he
the
doesn't
greatest
use his
fights,
Bankai. No, awful fight. And Komamura has to save him.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking that it has to be close to that because like he does not use it.
But the second movie was right after
Yes.
he used
Yeah.
it, where he's just like, I can do this.
Which is so weird. It's like they can't decide what they want from him.
But they went full regression. They're like, you know what a Shikai is? Because we don't. Like,
Yeah. And it's like I do like Ikaku when he fights with his sheath and his sword. I
Yeah.
like that a lot. But they don't ever address, so does he have Shikai? Does he have Bankai? Because
Yeah.
like a lot of that was also affected by Ichigo,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
is also in turn been disremembered
Yeah.
because Rukia is no longer a thing.
I like the little subtle thing, and I don't know if it was super, super subtle, but when he went to attack with the sheath, Ichigo blocked it, and he got all mad. He's like, wait, no one's supposed to
Yeah.
record that shit.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of his fighting style was like that it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's basically like a wild beast. It's like, oh, well, how are you going to guess my
He's a
moves? And then
boy.
Ichigo's like, yep,
Yeah.
block. He's
One,
like,
two,
well,
three,
son of a
okay.
bitch.
Practice the same techniques
Yuichika
over and
never
over
hops
again.
in as well, by the way.
Well,
He's
because
just-
Well, he's a
remember,
15th, let's be
1v1.
dude, but Ichigo
That's
gives
the
him a
rule.
special shout out. Did you like
that's
so
his boy.
This
They
guy
hung out
Ikaku and all them,
together.
he gives Hitsugai a shout out. He gives Ikaku, and then he's like, and Yuichika would never forget you.
Yeah.
He's fucking
It's like,
fabulous.
what the f?
He's
you-
fabulous?
Part of me thought Ichigo, like, because that was like a scene where he's like thanking Kon.
Yes.
He's kind of getting this like
It was a nice
weird
emotional
state.
scene.
yeah.
I thought he was gonna be like, "Take me, boys. Let's go to the fucking head captain. Like, just
It
arrest
was
me."
once
He
again,
comes to him though.
one of the most rational scenes of the whole anime,
Yeah.
where Yamamoto and the big captain show up, and they're like legitimately like, "We're here to arrest you." It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
And then
Hey,
of
you
course,
can't do shit against that man.
This is where the Urahara scene happens with the captain's cloak that he for some reason wants to style on, and then
I think he missed it. You know.
But it's like I do agree that he probably wore it as sort of like a who
Reminder.
knows what their memories are
Yeah.
missing, and this is way back. Like so,
God,
I'm gonna
he's
wear
so
my
smart.
yeah. But then it also doesn't excuse why is Yoruichi not wearing hers?
Because she didn't get the memo.
It's Yoruichi. She
Like,
does whatever she wants.
They don't give any Yoruichi fan service in this movie, by the way. So if
I
anybody's
know,
wondering
dude,
that
God.
question, there's
She doesn't
none.
do Shunpo.
Yeah,
It
she
is
doesn't
bullshit.
do anything.
I was ready for her shirt to come off.
Soifon does more than her, and that's
she gets
it.
an ooh moment.
Yeah, Soifon gets fucked on. So,
Yeah. But then we get
Yeah, the Benihime part, but he slices just the mouth open a little bit. I swear to God, if he had just killed her right there, I would have loved it. It
they
was so
don't.
perfect.
Once again, they also, and I think Josh, you brought up, they don't ever talk about Soifon Zanpakuto. Never.
yeah, they didn't bring it up because he's
Because
like
it's one big monster. She
Yep.
just, guys, hello. Like, oh, it's Aizen moment.
You'd be so annoyed if this was like like a power gaming thing, and it's like Soifon, come
Hello?
here. It's
I
like
I
big
always
monster, please.
Yeah.
It's like,
I always shit on Komamura. I think he's a terrible captain.
He is awful.
I think Soifon's a terrible captain as well. The two of them would like. There's an obvious winner, right?
yeah.
They made it very
Yeah.
especially clear in this movie too.
Soifon, like we've talked about, we like to hate on Soifon.
Yeah.
But time and time again, her Zanpakuto is really fucking good. At least the
Yeah,
Shikai.
It's OP
is
as fuck.
fantastically good.
But you know what's weird is another person with a great Shikai that's like very often used is fucking Wabisuke.
Yeah.
He was- he-
and
he
they
fell
cannot
asleep.
figure him out.
You know what happened? He was probably asleep when the
He was
sludge
not
kind of
in
landed
this.
on
He
top.
wasn't in the movie
At
at all.
Yeah,
all.
he wasn't. That's
He
what
was
I'm
in
saying.
after credits scene.
And Momo, no.
Well, no one cares.
Well, I'm just saying, if we're
We got
making a
Rangiku. We
list,
got my girl.
we
Yeah,
got,
but you didn't get no titty jiggles this time.
So
a
they
little bit.
so they have a moment where all the captains show up at the big finale, and they're like, we need to stop these snakes from going all over the place. So they all jump up to go do their own thing. Sasakibe is there, Chojiro Sasakibe,
Yes,
the
yes,
lieutenant
yes,
of
yes,
Squad
yes.
1 or whatever. And he goes also like, hey, I'm going to go help. Where did he go? Did he just fuck off somewhere?
I need to know, is it just a joke?
You know,
Like-
you know what? I think he gets easily distracted. He might have seen something shiny on the floor. Was
Like,
like,
and Jose
yeah.
pointed out perfectly, too, there's a part where it's like the sky gets all stormy, lightning comes crashing down.
Oh.
Captain Commander just goes, just
Yep.
like stops it.
I
It's
have an
like,
answer.
man, that would have been a cool moment for Sasakibe to do that.
Yep.
I've got an answer.
Go ahead.
Do you remember how at the very end when the two kids die and it starts raining? He had been prepping in
he
the background.
knew.
Yeah.
He
He's
knew.
like,
Ah,
if I
see,
just
see.
keep doing this, there's gonna be one big move, boys.
So he put his storm cloud above the other storm
Yeah,
cloud, and he
yeah,
was
yeah.
waiting for
Yeah.
it. And then it had to get reset because when Kapachi got freed, he blew the sky.
Yeah,
and
he's
he was
like,
like,
"God
son of a bitch. And so he had to restart.
I love how the comedic relief for the movie is Kenpachi getting released.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, he's a comment, and he just starts cackling.
Even the other captains, like, they're trying to figure out a game plan. Like, oh, we got to get past that. And you see yellow flying all over the place. It's just,
That's all we needed.
yeah. It's like,
They're just like,
okay.
hey.
It's like, yep, he's going at it. He really is.
Does he have Yuchiro? Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
he's good.
No,
He's
she
good for the
she
rest
came
of the
out of
film.
nowhere. She's like, Kenny.
She had a great,
Yeah.
hey-o.
yeah.
Just like, oh.
It's so good.
Yeah, this movie was really, really well done, and I can't recommend enough. I think if you haven't seen Fade to Black, watch this one for sure. Other ones you could skip.
I agree with that. I
Yes,
think
100%.
I still do like Memories of a Nobody, but this movie is like Memories of a Nobody with the same concept of like a person not existing. but
I
they
just
did it
like the
better.
one good thing I really liked the Memories of Nobody is they had really cool parts with music in it, but then
Yep.
this had really cool parts with music in it. So it's like
And it had
we
the
did get the
fucking fight
number
scene in
yeah,
one,
the
yeah.
second
so it's like
movie.
this one is just a better version. It
Yep.
just
They took the first two. They're like, what was great about second?
Yep.
Fight scenes.
Yep.
Just everybody was in
and
here.
all the characters. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. And then first one, animation, music,
Yep.
throw that shit all together. And you know what? Maybe just throw
They
Rengiku
finally-
in at the very end.
Yep.
Yep, they finally learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a great job with this movie. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested to see how they handle number 4. Will they continue
They
the
put
good
all their budget
streak?
in the fucking opening.
Oh God.
Will they continue the good streak, or will it go right back down the drain? Who knows?
I did like. I kept bringing it up because the original anime was in 4:3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the fuck they did all the like flashback scenes. It was the same animation.
They
style.
had to have upscaled it or something because it's the same exact drawing styles. Like they
Yeah.
use like OG looking Ichigo.
Yeah, they
I
did.
know
'Cause we-
personally
'cause
when
I
I did
remember
the
when he
edit,
did the
it's
little
just
thing.
a tint. You know, you just throw a tint on there and
Yeah.
it looks like OG, but like Rukia looks different and
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff.
That's why I'm assuming that they were already working on Blu-rays, and that's just
Gotcha.
from like them already having worked
Oh.
on that.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense
Good.
then.
Because I know they're still in the middle of releasing all the Blu-rays here, so I assume that at least for the first part of the arc, they were like, "Yeah, we got Blu-rays
You
going
know,
already."
right? That's how this movie got written. They rewatched like the first season. They're like, "Wow, we had some
This
fire
was
ass shit.
great.
Soul ribbons? What are those?" And they're just like, "We got the 16:9 beautiful shit."
You know,
now."
they never really went back and touched on the soul chains. You know, that's,
Yeah, that's
really
true,
the one
remember?
missing link.
but they showed the part where fucking Byakuya
Byakuya
fucks him up.
snaps it.
But they specifically missed the part of the soul chains. They cut around that part.
Yeah,
And he's attacked and he's on the ground. Like, oh, what attack did he do there? What'd that do? Nothing. Nothing.
nah.
We're not talking about that. Soul chains are done. Sorry.
stop making them happen. But you know what's in Soul ribbons?
Yep.
Yes,
Soul
yes,
Wing.
bring it
Everybody
back.
loves
You remember that first movie? Bring it back.
Soul Ribbon stocks up, Soul Chains down. So,
Oh man.
all right. Well, out of 10, no halves.
Okay.
Looking at you again.
Fuck you, JJ.
Okay. What do you guys give it?
8.
Okay. Jose?
Solid 8 for me.
I would even give it a 9.
Wow.
If I were to give it a
wow.
half, it would be 8.5. But it's an 8 or a 9.
Well, if you, but you're not going to. So.
On a teetering scale, 8 or 9.
Yeah. Okay. I would give it 7. I thought it was very good. Very, very, very good. Like significantly better than the other movie.
yeah.
Everything
like
was
leaps.
enjoyable about it. Like there was
Yeah.
no bad parts. Like no, like the
Oh, we didn't see B Team.
B team. Oh
Thank
yes,
God.
even better.
Yep. They cut that shit out. They
knew. They knew.
learned from the other movies.
The most hand-fisted thing they put in the entire movie was their superpower that they could apparently teleport between each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that literally had no effect on anything.
Yeah.
That was it.
They never learned to use it.
Yeah.
They just needed some sort of reason as how they survived being fucking slashed. So,
Yeah.
so, yeah, well, fucking hell. Great movie. We're going to canon, which means we will be heading into the final ultimate Ulquiorra versus Ichigo fight.
It's happening.
It's finally happening. We're going to get there. I mean, I would say probably, would you say that's more iconic than the Byakuya versus Ichigo fight? I would say second.
What?
I'd say second, yeah.
It's
I agree
better
with that.
then?
No, iconic.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, you say it's more iconic?
No, I would
No,
no,
he
no,
said
no.
it's second.
Byakuya. Because
Yeah.
it's early enough on where
Yeah.
everyone actually kind of watched
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no one remembers Fullbring.
Like, oh, yeah. I would say if you watch Bleach heavily, these are the top 2 fights to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like knew of Bleach, Byakuya versus Ichigo.
Yeah,
is number
Byakuya
one.
versus Ichigo, and then Ulquiorra versus Ichigo for sure.
Yeah.
And then probably
Stark
Grimjo.
versus.
Oh, yeah, Grimjo's fight, yeah.
So, but yeah, that's going to be really good. So be sure to stick around. We'll be back every Friday with a new podcast. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. We should be on there for Bleach Boys. And then if you want to see the video, it's on YouTube. We've changed our name recently. We're Weebs Guild.
Yeah.
So everything else is staying
Welcome
the
to
same.
the guild, everybody.
Bleach Boys, Otaku Podcast, all the same. So, but we're now just under the name Weebs Guild. So check us out there and be sure to leave a like and subscribe because we'll be back every week with new Bleach Boys. Let us know what you thought of the third movie. If you say it sucks, you're wrong. And we will see you guys next Friday for another podcast.